issues that brought some of the countries of which you give examples this morning were so clear in their minds. The issues were so clear in their mind that either they could not allow this kind of thing to happen, or they wanted to be sure that they were protected. So they were involved in their governance from the very beginning as people. Would that have been the reason why then it was easier, and I want to use that word very cautiously, easier for them then to set up a system whereby they were able to say, this is the system because never again. This is the system that we are going to follow. No matter who comes in tomorrow, we are going to ensure that you follow this. You can have your political affiliations, you can have your political thoughts, thinking, who wants to get ahead, because this filibustering that we're talking about, everybody does it. It doesn't matter whether you're in America, Japan, wherever, everybody does it. However, the system is sacrosanct, and we will say, we will not allow corruption, we will call it out, that the president will not come and lord him or herself over us in terms of how they operate, that we are all thinking and we're working towards a common goal. Now, the politics comes into place whereby it's based on an ideology. The Republicans will not go in a certain direction. The Democrats will not go in a certain direction because that is what they believe. However, they will work within the system to ensure that their ideologies come out to play. Could that be what's missing? If that is even an example that you want to use?
Yes, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because one, in Kenya, what is our basic foundation? Our basic foundation is identity. From where we
hunger.
come from. Hunger is one. But even in hunger, we think I'm hungry as a Luo.
No, just hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry as a Luo. I'm not hungry as a Kenyan. I'm hungry as a Luo.
People are still thinking like that?
People think like that.
Odhiambo.
The basic formation of our politics, of our identity, is politics of ethnicity. In fact, clanism. Clanism, do. If you sink into the deep ends of gubernatorial contest in this country today, you will find that however high they are, people are looking at themselves from the clan level. Now, how does that then come to what you're talking about? Once people still look at themselves at the level of identity, then it means we cannot just superimpose or import another kind of democracy and think it will work for us. In America, they're almost homogeneous. We know they're Native Americans, then we know there are people who are coming in from all over. In fact, America is a country of immigrants, coming in from all over, and they have to align on ideologies. In Kenya, do people align on ideologies?
No.
People align on identity.
Identity.
Now, the identity is what? Tribalism, not ideological identity. It is tribalistic or ethnical identity. Now, when they are working on ethnical identities, then it means for you to form a proper political outfit, it must sit within those confines and defines. Now, when they go to parliament, they're still going to vote as what? As ethnicities. In terms of the presidential system, they're looking at, wanataka kutoa president, wanataka kutoa deputy president. Mtu wetu. It is no longer about our issues as a country. It's about mtu wetu. People are not looking at what works for everybody in the state. They're looking at what works for me or what works for my people.
So how do you change that? Because essentially you're saying that you have two systems of government that can be employed within a democracy.
Yes.
And if you're saying that one, from what you're saying in Kenya or in a lot of African countries at the moment, that doesn't really work because the political head will be the president. And it is what they want at the time that will be filtered through the different points of representation.
Right.
So how do you change that? Because clearly it doesn't work.
Good. So how you change that is this. By the time we move to the parliamentary system, which is something that we have to do, and actually let me say why we are moving to a parliamentary system. It has to happen. Why we have to move to a parliamentary system is because we were in a political freedoms era. We were clamoring for political freedoms. Now, there's been a hangover and an overlap of leaders and ideologies. Political freedom champions or freedom fighters are still existing around economic freedoms. The two cannot sit together. These are two from a bygone era. In an economic freedom era or an economic reform era, you need people who are thinkers, who understand the economy, who are going there for the people, who are not going there to say, people are being ostracized out of government. It's about, is there merit? Because economy does not appreciate tribalism. Economy appreciates money in the bank. Things working out. Are the trains working? Is the transport system working? Is the hospital working? These things have nothing to do with what? With tribes. These things simply need people who can reason and develop policies or laws that work for the people. Now, this moment, once the collective conscience of the country is sensitized, that now we are moving to the economic freedom space, or we are moving to a position now we are a little bit more mature, because right now, if you look at Kenya and democracies around Africa, Kenya could be the second or the third, if not the first, in terms of maturity. So it means we can sustain the shocks of political freedoms. It is already there. If you play around with the political freedoms, the courts are there. If you play around, Article 1 of the Constitution gives us the power as the people to move into the street and cause civic disobedience, and you will not govern anything. You will become ungovernable. So you must agree with us. Now, in that sense, now we move to understand that, hey, in the question of economic freedoms, in the question of the common good of every human being in this country, one thing that is important and popular that we must appreciate is we need people who are thinkers. We can elect a Muindi, we can elect a white man, we can elect Ndu from Nigeria to come and represent us in Kabondo Kasipul, where I come from. Okay? Because Ndu, being married there or staying there or being a citizen who has been naturalized and is speaking proper issues, can go to parliament and actually properly articulate our issues, the issues of the people.